Welcome to the Arrington Gavin Show. Real talk, big opinions, and fearless conversations. From the front lines of politics to the latest in pop culture. From breaking sports headlines to the stories that move the world. Nothing's off limits, and nobody's holding back. Arrington Gavin is here to break it down, build it up, and keep it all the way real. So turn it up, lean in, and let's get into it. This is the Arrington Gavin Show.
Hey, what is happening, ladies and gents? Welcome to another great episode of the Arrington Gavin Show, your go-to spot for sharp insights, bold opinions, and unfiltered takes on the biggest stories of the day, whether it is politics, sports, pop culture, or the latest buzz. Look, we're diving deep and keeping it real, so please do me a favor, kick back, stay informed, and get ready to join the conversation. On today's conversation, look, New York moderate Democrats are continuously trying to defeat Zohran Mamdani, the Democratic nominee for mayor for the city of New York. They're trying so many ways of removing this guy, right? They are not a fan. They look at him as a socialist. They're like, he does not represent the majority. He's a young socialist, and what does he know about this X, Y, and Z? And so folks are speaking up, man. Folks are speaking up. In a recent press conference that was just held, former New York Governor David Paterson, a Democrat who's also the former state party chair for the former Democratic party chair for the state of New York, he's speaking against Zohran Mamdani. I'm pretty sure they showed the minority speaker Hakeem Jeffries has not been in support of Zohran Mamdani. So many folks have spoken against him. So we're going to continue to share exactly more on that. Also, reality TV star, famous reality TV star, is taking the leap of faith in running for state office. Are you keep guessing on who it is, because I will mention that later on in the show. Also, later on in the program, our current sitting mayor continues to make money while he's in office. What I mean by that is his name, his brand continues to branch off into so many other things. It was just announced that Trump Media has teamed up with Newsmax. I'll talk a little more about that. Newsmax is the far-right conservative network who continues to bend the knee for President Trump. So hence why he so loves them and is doing business with them, because he ain't gonna do it with Fox. And so much more. We're going to talk about it here on the Arrington Gavin Show. As always, thank you so much for taking 1 hour of your time for tuning into the to the program. You could be doing so many other things with your precious time, but the fact that you take 1 hour of your time to tune into the Arrington Gavin Show, I truly appreciate that. We want to keep on giving you some great commentary, unfiltered commentary, and hopefully, we have fun, but also inform you all as well. As I always say this in the beginning of the show, for those who are happen to be streaming us right now on YouTube, please like, subscribe, and share. Please like and subscribe, share. I truly appreciate it. Also, you can follow us on our YouTube channel, the Arrington Gavin Show. You can also stream us on GOATverse TV. That's right, GOATverse TV, where we give it to you real. There's so many amazing programs up there. You can download the app. It's available in the App Store, Google Play Store, Roku, as well as Amazon Fire TV. So we're in the faces of so many households because we're on those platforms, and it's a growing streaming channel. Again, that's GOATverse TV. You can tune into the Arrington Gavin Show. You can stream us on there as well. Be sure to listen to us wherever you get your podcasts. We're available on all major podcast platforms. You can also listen to us on the radio airwaves. Shout out to our New Orleans fam out there, WBOK 1230 AM. What New Orleans is talking about. You can tune into the Arrington Gavin Show Monday through Fridays at 7 p.m. Central Time. Again, that is WBOK 1230 AM Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Central Time. Also, I want to acknowledge our listeners in the Metro Atlanta area, Metro Atlanta region, by way of WDJY 99.1 FM. Straight Talk. You can tune into the Arrington Gavin Show weeknights at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So look, we got a lot of stuff happening, a lot of stuff we going. But before we move forward, I gotta start off with this Black Excellence Report. You know, a tradition we love to do here on the program before we get going with our headlines. So on today's Black Excellence Report, this is dedicated to an educator. Let me see where here we go. Gentleman by the name of Kenneth Gorham. Kenneth Gorham, at the age of 24, became the youngest principal in his school's history at Movement Middle School in Charlotte, North Carolina. A proud graduate of the HBCU North Carolina A&T, he broke stereotypes and empowered students daily with hugs, high fives, and hope. Now, at the age of 26, he continues to change narratives and lead by example as a Black male educator. Mr. Gorham, today we dedicate our Black Excellence Report to you, sir. Continue doing the great work and continue with that key word again, hope. That's one thing I got to acknowledge, all the amazing educators out there that provides hope for students, because I've shared my story many a times, y'all. I struggled in school. I was a great student, respected. I respected my teachers. I was friends with everybody. Still to this very day, that's how I am. I'm a people person. But I struggled in classes, right? I struggled with test taking. And I used to have my moments, man, would just put me in a corner. I didn't want to talk to anybody. I was just so embarrassed. I was so ashamed. I was like, oh Lord, where is this going to lead me to in the future? Because I knew how hard I worked, but I didn't get those results with those grades. And I know I'm probably not the only one. I'm probably speaking to the choir to some folks. And y'all know I had a learning disability, but I never always use that as an excuse. I really never use that as an excuse. But I was so like just honored to have amazing teachers that provided me with the hope that I can continue to persevere. There was a gentleman, my old history teacher in high school, Mr. Baumgartner. He's still teaching at my alma mater to this day, and the sweetest guy you could ever meet. Just sweet, funny, great teacher, by the way, passed his class. But there were moments where, hey, I didn't do good on tests here and there. But one thing he always said, and this was from he's like, don't ever let this grade define what kind of person you'll be once you graduate from school, once you leave out this door. Don't ever let this grade define the person you really are and the person you're going to be in the future. I mean, you talking about, he didn't have to give us the word hope. He explained it right then and there. Because one thing he said, you're going to graduate, okay? He said when you become, he already saw it in our eyes that we're going to be great individuals graduating. So I just appreciate teachers like Mr. Baumgartner, and I can shout out other teachers. My fourth grade teacher, Mrs. Wilson. My first grade teacher, Mrs. Gann. Lord have mercy. So many teachers. One of my counselors from college, Dr. Motlin, she passed on, but she was just a sweetheart. There's so many folks I can name, but teachers like Mr. Gorham right here that I just mentioned, again, at a young age, he's 26 years old now, in a principal. Come on, that's a hard task to do. So just shout out to all of our amazing educators out there. Y'all continue doing a great work. My friends, look, we're going to take a quick commercial break. We have a lot more show for you here on the Arrington Gavin Show. Please do not go anywhere. We'll be right back after these commercial breaks.
Become a man of distinction with Rugged Evolution Beard Care. Order our scented beard oils and beard balms to help you maintain and grow the perfect beard. Order today. Try our men's care products like the full body exfoliating cleansing bars, body wash, smooth stash, and more. Log on to our website or download our app to place your orders. Rugged Evolution Beard Care. We're your luxury but affordable men's care line. And remember,
Rugged is the new smooth.
What's up, y'all? Welcome now.
And we still in traffic.
Don't look familiar, do I? Not in this seat.
Hey, what's that you listening to?
Here to host today.
Hey, turn it up. Yeah, this that new Goat Verse app. I got you.
So y'all want to know where the goats are? They're off on the sidelines.
Looking for fresh, relevant content wherever you go?
What was the name of the app he said?
Introducing Goatverse TV.
Goatverse, that's what it's called.
The free streaming app that brings you the best podcasts, current events, and thought-provoking opinions all in one place. Download it now from the Apple Store or Play Store. In Goats, we trust.
Let me tell you something most people get wrong about suits. A suit isn't just about you wearing it. It's how you show the world who you are. It's your handshake before you say a word, your presence when you step into any room. That's why we design statements at Dapper Luke. We don't just make suits. We'll start with the fabrics that tell your story, luxurious wools, silk, linen, and blends sourced from the finest mills in Italy, the UK, and India. Then we'll combine that with your vision, your personality, and your style. Every detail is tailored to you, from the fit to the finish. Whether for your wedding, a gala, the boardroom, we specialize in creating custom suits that are unique, just like the men who wear them. We spent years perfecting this craft, apprenticing under designers in New York and showcasing collections in New York and for Baltimore Fashion Week. None of that matters as much as seeing the look on your face when you try on your custom suit. Over 900 clients have already trusted us to deliver the best custom suits. They trust me to deliver the confidence. We proudly serve Virginia Beach and Baltimore and would be honored to bring your vision to life next. Let's create something unforgettable. Book your free consultation today at www.dapperluke.com.
All right, my friends, welcome back to the show. Welcome back. Let's get going with our first headline. So, former New York Governor David Paterson calls on leaders to come together to defeat Mamdani in the New York City mayoral election. Now, this is reported by Eyewitness News, ABC Channel 7. Former Governor David Paterson, along with several other political leaders, held a press conference in Midtown to discuss New York City mayor's election. Excuse me. Let me just give you a quick soundbite of that, and I'll continue to read this article for you all.
It's a job really for someone that has experience. It's a job for someone that can make a plan work, and it's got to be someone who's going to consider all people in the city, not single them out for some type of retribution. People who care about the city have got to come together at this point. And to do that, what we are really doing is calling on the candidates who are still in the race to find a way to unite behind one of them. When weighed against the progress of the city, when weighed against what we've seen happen in Chicago, in San Francisco, this is a possibility. We can do this, but it's going to take a united effort, and it's going to take some sacrifice that someone is going to have to make. This is a job really for someone that has experience.
So let me go ahead and close it right there for you all. That was David Paterson, again, former governor, a Democrat by the way, a former governor of New York City. I mean, former governor for the state of New York, a Democrat, registered Democrat, and a former chair for the state Democratic Party. He held this press conference with the help of his friend John Catsimatidis, who is the owner of WABC, which is a political talk radio station out in New York City, preferably conservative talk. You have many of conservative voices on there. Also, it's the home of one of the candidates running for mayor, Curtis Silva, who I believe as of right now, because he's running for mayor, he's taking time away from the station to work on his campaign. but he is the Republican nominee. So to continue on what the former governor was talking there. The former governor of New York is calling on members of the Democratic Party to come together to defeat current Democrat candidate Zohran Mamdani. Now, Patterson has previously supported former Governor Andrew Cuomo's bid for mayor, like so many other moderates and just established. What I mean by established, I mean the folks that will continue to do whatever they can to keep whoever they want preferably in power. So right when Andrew Cuomo entered in, you had so many of the Democratic elites to endorse him. You had Mike Bloomberg, endorse him as well, and then you had mentioned the former governor. Now, look, Andrew Cuomo lost the Democratic primary. Boom, put that in the play. He lost the Democratic primary. Now, right now, he's really, really, really leaning close to entering into on the independent ballot for New York mayor. I'm pretty sure he will do so. You have the incumbent Mayor Eric Adams said he is running as an independent, not as a Democrat, because I think he already saw the light at the end of the tunnel, realizing that, hey, he was not going to get any support from the Democratic Party. Patterson has he declined to say who between Mayor Eric Adams or Cuomo should stay in the race. Now, when I first saw this press conference, because again, you had a conservative, and don't get me wrong, WABC is a popular talk radio station in New York City, but again, it leans more right. You had them host a press conference for a former Democratic governor to continue to say how bad the person that won the Democratic primary, in his opinion, is. Now, here's my frustration. Yo, that's who the hell they voted for. That's who they want in leadership. Why isn't that so many people fight to say, okay, we can't have this. We just can't. We can't. Look, the people have spoken who the Democratic, preferably mostly Democrats, want in that position. And they said Zohran Mamdani. Look, your guy Andrew ran. There were, I believe there were 4 or 5 others in that race. They all lost. Mamdani beat Cuomo by 12 points, y'all. 12 points. Now, doesn't it sound like a bit of sore losers? They're just trying to say, okay, we can't have this, because guess what? That's not the person y'all want, but that's the person that the people want as of right now. So these press conferences, these, so-called these Democrats saying, well, he's not what the Democratic Party really represents. We need to replace it. We can't do it. Listen, in my opinion, you're not helping the case at all, because again, you have 2 candidates as of right now that are running as independents. Former governor of New York, Andrew Cuomo, who again lost the freaking local primary. Then you have Eric Adams. Both of them is looking iffy, right? And then you have Curtis. You might even make it easier for Curtis to possibly win this, because so many folks, especially residents of New York City, looks at Curtis as like, well, look, he's the founder of the Guardian Angels. He's been doing a lot more boots on the ground work in the community than any of y'all that's been elected. That's the argument that they're bringing up. Patterson says, he quotes, "I'm really not here to represent any candidate." And what the hell? What are you doing, dude? What are you doing? You're not making any sense at this point. If you're not representing any candidate, what are you doing? Because obviously, if you're trying to get one removed, then you have to be backing somebody. And you're not saying who you represent you've already publicly endorsed Andrew Cuomo. So you kind of already told on yourself from there. He also added on, let's see here. So actually there's 3 independent candidates currently in the race. He says there's an urgent need for strategic unity in order to defeat Mamdani in the general election. Now, he says this is a really job for someone who has experience. It's a job for someone who can make a plan work. And it's got to be someone who is going to consider the people in the city and not single them out for some type of retribution. Now, Governor Patterson suggested that some candidates could withdraw to consolidate support and strengthen the chances of victory in a race and increasing voter fragmentation. Now, that I can on a strategy level, I agree with that, because at the end of the day, so for example, in my home state of Virginia, we had a lieutenant governor's race, a Democratic primary lieutenant governor's race with, I believe, 6 individuals. 6. To me, I'm like, okay, obviously, when it's 6 people, I look at it as like, okay, your party cannot see one accord. They're not on one accord at all, because you had a the governor's race. You already had your nominee already picked out. Boom, that's easy, just like that. Now on the attorney general race, you had 2, but 6 is a large number. So I get it when he's saying, okay, look, consolidate, withdraw, lean more into support, and let's really build up this thing. Let's try and win this race. I get it. But once again, I repeat, my issue with the New York Democratic Party, or these elites in New York City, they're not hearing what the people are asking. The people, the majority of the Democratic voters in this primary race, which is this primary, they don't hold a lot of folks. They usually have a much smaller number than the general election. So Mamdani won fair and square. Okay, so now you got your guys that's going to be leaning on the independent circuit. But is that going to hurt? Is that going to split the left-leaning votes, because you have majority Democrats that are running as independents, and you have one in Mamdani? That's why I said you're really making this fun for Curtis. Man, Curtis, Mayor Silva with the red beret. I mean, goodness gracious. It will be interesting. It will be an interesting race. In addition to that, Patterson said it's not too late to unite behind a candidate other than Mamdani, who said who he said isn't experienced enough to lead the city. Hey, he said he is a state rep, so he's already technically have experience as an elected official, because he might be young. He's 33 years old. Hell, he's 3 years older than me. But he's probably been involved in that political field for a long time. And here's the thing: at 33 years old, New York City mayor is still quote unquote that's local government, but you're leading one of the largest lucrative cities in the United States. All right. A lot of money in New York City. I think his policies on freezing rents is impossible. There is no way he can do that. He also said, let's see. Okay, so that was it from the former governor. But again, y'all, I'm so intrigued. I'm looking to see how we're in a era right now where the left is in a massive rebuilding stage. And you're probably like saying, Arrington, you talk a lot about the left. Are you a Republican? No, please God, no. I'm not. I'm an independent. I am as independent as it gets. Now, do I lean a little bit more left? Yes. What I preferably want to see is that the left continues to get bashed and criticized, and you would think they would listen to some criticism. Like, I understand, you ignore, whatever kills you makes you stronger, right? You ignore what your haters say. But in this case, these people are not haters. They're folks that are just frustrated on the way the system is working. They're frustrated because you have leadership that's not trying to give up power. You have a position now where leadership continues to overlook what the citizens see as that should be their next leaders. I mean, it's just it's a lot. It's a lot. Now, as of right now, Mamdani is still very much in the league. Now I know there was recently Mayor Eric Adams was on CNBC, and he had shared that Andrew Cuomo told him to drop out of the race, like recently. Let me see if I can find that, because I just was reading this earlier today. Let's see here. Let me see if I can get this going. So the New York Daily News shared that New York Mayor Eric Adams has said that the ex-governor Andrew Cuomo is privately urging him to drop out of the election as their moderate wing of the party scrambles. Obviously, what I spoke earlier, scrambles to find a candidate to support them. Now, he had shared that I believe this was in person with Andrew Cuomo. Let me see if I can find a. Let's see here. So I'm trying to find the quote. Bear with me. So Adams said recently that Cuomo is the number one obstacle standing in the way of his reelection, and called him to step aside. He says, I think he really should do an analysis and say, hey, give Eric an opportunity to run against Zohran. He was on the CNBC show Squawk Box. The mayor also revealed Cuomo had called him to ask the same thing. He's saying, I'm the sitting mayor of the city of New York, and you expect me to step aside when you just lost to Zohran by 12 points? Citing the nearly $30 million in outside spending on behalf of Cuomo by super PACs and the candidate's own war chest. He says, they heard your message, you lost. That's the highest level of arrogance. Accusing Cuomo of having, he added, accusing Cuomo of having a long history of undermining black candidates, including former Governor David Paterson, former state comptroller H. Carl McCall, and Charlie King. Patterson and McCall endorsed Cuomo's mayoral run early in the year, and King has been a key player in Cuomo's campaign. So again, they're scrambling. Now, the question really is, could Eric Adams be reelected? And if so, how? What stances do the folks have on Mayor Eric Adams and his, because this is his first term. Were they fans of him? Did they see a huge difference under his administration compared to the previous administration? And could they possibly see him continue on what he's doing now? I mean, it's interesting. It really is interesting, because at one point, hey, he was criticized by his own party for lack of accountability. There were allegations of bribery happening. Then on top of that, he's criticized on the right because he is a Democrat, right? And so it's just, and on with the whole immigration issues that's happening in New York City. So it's a lot. We will continue to see all that turn out and see how that will end up later on in the year. Let's stay in politics here. When I saw this story, I thought this was quite interesting and entertaining. So staying in politics, but also moving into some pop culture. So reality star Heavenly Kim. So let me put a face to it for those who are streaming us right now. Let's see here. There we go. So I don't know this if this image rings a bell for you all. So Dr. Heavenly is one of the stars from the hit Bravo show Married to Medicine. Okay, Married to Medicine. And it was recently announced that she wanted to she is launching a run for Georgia State representative. Interesting. Says here that Dr. Heavenly is going from patients to politics, as she just reported about peoplemagazine.com. Politics, as she seeks to add her name on the list of those who have made the leap from reality TV to elected office. Now, the Married to Medicine star, a cosmetic dentist, entrepreneur, and longtime community advocate, is officially launching her candidacy on the Democratic ticket for Georgia State Representative in District 93. Now, she shared with People Magazine that, look, I'm not a career politician. I'm a mom, a doctor, a business owner, and I'm not afraid to stand up for what I believe in. She's 54, says in a statement, I'm running to serve and I'm ready to work. Such a great slogan. I'm ready to serve and I'm ready to work for you. She will kick off her campaign with community rallies starting very soon, starting in the month of July, outside the Georgia State Capitol in downtown Atlanta. Let's see here. Her events are going to be open to the public, and supporters per a press release are encouraged to show up in their Dr. Heavenly for Georgia t-shirts and bring their energy for an unforgettable moment in Atlanta history. Now, I'll be honest, I think it's quite smart because Atlanta is an extremely liberal city. Dr. Heavenly is a popular face because when it comes to reality TV, especially those shows that are based out of the Atlanta area, they're goddess out there. They're so famous. And so a cosmetic dentist has a lot of fans. Okay, hello. She's paid to make sure people have better smiles, to put a smile on people's face. So now she's taking that leap and going to state office. She's very opinionated, by the way. I mean, we've seen the way she acts on reality TV. She's can get feisty, so she's not scared to hustle and bustle when it comes to debating. But I think this will be very, very interesting. I think for one, it's already bringing a story. Hello, we're talking about it now. Our show is heard around the world. It's already, put on a national known magazine. So I think it's going to already bring some attention. I mean, she has that celebrity status, which will help a state race. And then on top of that, hey, look, she has a great resume. She's a highly accomplished and successful individual. So, I mean, you never know. We most likely might see her in state office. That will be quite interesting. Might have to try and reach out to her team and try and get her on the program. That is quite interesting. Says here. She has been on Married to Medicine since season 2. She's been a mainstay on the series ever since. Her no-nonsense candor making her a fan favorite. Off camera, she owns multiple dental practices and has mentored aspiring professionals through her Dr. Heavenly University platform. So, again, she has a following. Now obviously when she's running for that will absent her from the show, but best of luck to her. I'm gonna keep on reading up on that. I think that's pretty dope. I think that's quite interesting. All right, my friends, we're gonna take a commercial break. We have a lot more here on the Arrington Gavin Show. Do not go anywhere. We'll be right back after these commercial breaks.
Zohran Learning Institute, LLC, is a hybrid learning center that strives to educate adults and children in all fields. During the day, we offer programs that are focused on developing students from pre-K to 12th grade, which includes tutoring, homeschool co-op, an after-school program, SAT, ACT prep, and many more engaging academic programs. Our adult education programs include workforce trainings, GED prep, life coaching, various seminars, and many more. Our vision is to train and educate in a positive way that will lead to a positive change in the world, one person at a time. For more information, visit us online at JazarianLearningInstitute.com or call us at 757-208-7407.
Order your beard care products with Rugged Evolution. We're your local beard care line that supports the maintenance of your full, mature beard. Our line includes conditioning shampoos, moisturizers, balms, oils, shaving lotions, and exfoliating soaps. These products moisturize, hydrate, nourish, and have all the natural ingredients for a healthy beard. Log on to our website or download our app to place your orders. Become a man of distinction with Rugged Evolution Beard Care. And remember,
Rugged is the new smooth.
All right, friends, welcome back to the show. Welcome back to the show. Literally just caught me yawning, so I wanted to make sure we're in that commercial break, and I'm like, ooh. All right, let's get it back to the stories today. So next up, famous TV host. I was about to say TV doctor, but he's not like well, I don't know. He's Dr. Phil. Y'all know Dr. Phil. He has, grown a career obviously on TV, hosting his long time Dr. Phil show, but he had recently entered into a broader, more a higher position in the world of media by starting his media company, Merit Street Media. All right, Merit Street Media. So recently, his newly, and because it's still very new, it hasn't been it's not even 3 years old yet. Recently files for bankruptcy less than 2 years after the launch. So Merit Street Media, the multi platform network owned by former daytime talk show host Dr. Phil McGraw, had filed for chapter filed in motion for chapter 11 protection in the U.S. bankruptcy court in Northern District of Texas. The filings come just weeks after the struggling company laid off 40 employees in a second wave of job cuts following the dismissal of roughly a third of its staff in August of 2024. Now, Merit Street Media launched in 2023 with ambitions of becoming one of the most widely distributed startup networks in modern history. Now, I remember hearing about this, hearing about the genesis of this network. Dr. Phil started to be involved in a lot of political networks as far as just providing commentary. He was always on either Fox, he was on CNN, but mostly the conservative outlets. And he was always saying, why can't we just come to common sense principles and this and that and blah, blah, blah. And so you start to see him getting more involved. Now, boom, with the start of Merit Street. So he had folks, let me see some names that was up there. At one point, Nancy Grace was on that, a part of that network. Steve Harvey had reruns of one of his programs up there. They partnered with, like, I think the Sport of Rodeo. Oh gosh, what's his name? Oh, he's the Bachelor. He used to be the Bachelor. Chris Harrison, I believe, had was on that network too. I mean, it was interesting. It was quite interesting. But in addition, let me continue reading this. The company's broadcast network formed in a partnership with Christian-based Trinity Broadcast Network, TBN for short, offered a broad lineup of programming featuring popular TV personalities, including, as I mentioned, Nancy Grace, Bear Grylls, and Steve Harvey, in addition to McGraw, the face of the network. Now, quote here I'll read from McGraw. He said, Merit Street Media will be a resource of information and strategies to fight for for America and its families, which are under a culture woke assault as never before. I love when we get to talk about this woke stuff. Um, I love this country. I believe family is the backbone of our country. Together, we are going to stand strong and fight for the very soul and sanity of America and get things that matter back on track. Now, in its bankruptcy filing, the Fort Worth, Texas-based company reported assets and liabilities of between 100 to 500 million dollars. Court records show the company recently also filed a lawsuit against TBN, according to the Mayor Street spokesperson. Now, Trinity Broadcast Network is being sued by Mayor Street Media for failing to provide clearly agreed upon national distributions and other significant foundational commitments, critical to the network's continuous success and viability. The suit is part of a restructuring proceeding, also initiated by Mayoral Street Media. Now, Mayoral Street Media did not immediately reply to the request for comment from CBS Money Watch, but both live and streaming content will still be available on the MerrittTV.com. This is, I mean, hey, you see Dr. Phil over there trying to be cute with his little network. All right. Now, the funny thing is, what are you starting to see folks do when they start networks? They go the digital route. And I mean, and not just all eggs in one basket kind of thing. I mean, some folks will say, hey, look, let me just start on YouTube and build up from there, right? How hard could it be? But hey, Dr. Phil said, hey, I got a partnership with TBN. TBN has been one of the longest running and most successful Christian-based media companies out there. I mean, it's still on TV till this day. But the sad thing is, TBN has always, showed conservative views, but this time it's getting even worse because they've hosted programs like Mike Huckabee had a late night show. They try to make Mike Huckabee into like another Jay Leno or something, David Letterman type. So you had him, and then Roland Martin. Shout out to Roland Martin, one of my mentors, man. That joker is the beast. Roland Martin posted on social media because he was watching TBN. He said, I don't believe this. I've watched TBN for so many years and this and then the other. They had Charlie Kirk has a program on there. Charlie flipping Kirk has a show on TBN. So again, that shows you the route that they're going. But hey, Dr. Phil is no different. Dr. Phil was one of the many of folks who spoke at the Madison Square Garden Trump rally. So he's no different at all. But again, it's not looking good. Starting a whole network is not easy. It's not easy. Okay. Look, Dr. Phil had a good run as a host of his own program, but I'm gonna tell you some moments where I just thought, in general, why I thought the show was kind of fumbling. First of all, Dr. Phil had like 3 shows. Everything was he was the face. He had exclusive sit downs with folks. He had Dr. Phil Primetime. He had Dr. Phil. It was too much Dr. Phil. Like, dude, you're a psychiatrist. What are you doing having sit downs, conversations with political leaders and officials? He was also participated during some during the LA riots along with ICE. So it's just like it's weird. It's weird. Okay. Dude, you're already loaded. Keep doing your thing, keep your podcast, all that other stuff. But I just I checked it out just to check it out because I was out of curiosity, but it wasn't getting. I mean, maybe keep it as more of a local based network rather than a streaming. I don't know. It didn't work out. But obviously, I mean, hey, you're already filing bankruptcy, which tells me that you don't have long until you close the doors on this network. I mean, it's been done before with other networks. Maybe he might partner up with some other platform. Speaking of partnering up, let me move it on to another story because I'm looking at my time here. President Donald Trump. Recently, President Donald Trump had announced, he did not announce, but Trump Media. Let me make sure I stand corrected here. Trump Media has announced a new partnership with Newsmax. So Trump's media company has teamed up with one of its favorite propaganda outlets. Oh yeah, that's right, y'all. That's right. Truth Social. Launches Global Truth Plus, a streaming platform in partnership with Newsmax. So recently, Trump's media company unveiled a television streaming platform called Truth Plus and announced that Newsmax will be a flagship channel. Now, Truth Social or Truth Plus comes off of Truth Social, which is Donald Trump's version of like a Twitter and Instagram and all that stuff. I think all in one. It's ridiculous in my opinion. All of it is just flat out just ridiculous. I can think of some other words, but for the sake of respect for our listeners, I don't want y'all to hear my tongue. But Trump's media CEO is former Representative Devin Nunes of California, a MAGA loyalist. Shared there is clearly a need globally for fresh perspectives on the great issues of our day, and we're laying the groundwork to challenge the woke news again. With this woke, all these networks are starting because they're trying to fight woke. I can't stand woke, so I'm gonna start something. I mean, it's just a lot. It's getting so old, and just it's the marathon of whiners. It is literally the marathon of whiners. It says here that non-woke reporting and commentary that appears to be MAGA speak for we're going to be peddling far-right propaganda worldwide. That's absolutely what it means. Okay. Newsmax has always been that solo channel that's always been on Trump's side. When he was, well, he still continues to be just wrong in so many ways, but they will stand by him forever. Now, this partnership, I mean, what's interesting? There's so much stuff starting for the Trump brand and company while he's in office. I mean, we talked about the mobile phones, right? The gold cards he's starting this. I mean, the meme coins or all that stuff is getting, I can go down the list of stuff that he's continue to do, which to me I think is a massive ethics issue, but hey, what do I know? I'm just a kid from Virginia. But he continues to do so many questionable things. I guarantee if this was someone else or someone on the left in office, all hell would break loose. Seriously. So what this means, the president is now a financial intertwined with a propaganda platform he frequently welcomes into the White House briefing room, an outlet embroiled in legal fight over falsehoods it aired regarding the 2020 elections. Now, earlier in the year, Newsmax and MAGA-friendly outlet The Blaze were granted entry to the White House press pool in place of Huffington and Reuters. Again, two respectable, reliable journalistic platforms, newspapers, media, you name it. But the Blaze that is the home of Jason Whitlock. Wow. Whoa. I mean, it doesn't get any worse than that. Blaze. Okay. Also, yeah. Newsmax. Whoop-de-damn do. Let's see, as part of what appeared to be an effort to add more Trump aligned outlets. Why? So that they can ask the softball questions. Those questions that most likely, oh, Mr. President, I mean, what is his regimen? What is the work? He looks in better shape than ever, even than past terms. What is his regimen? I mean, y'all remember that? Y'all remember that reporter that asked that? I'm like, no, this lady didn't ask his regimen, his workout regimen. What in the? It's to make the press secretary's job so easy. You know, they just want to make her job so easy. But hey, I will say, and I rarely give Fox News credit, but Fox News been having a couple of journalists that has been owning the Trump administration 24/7. There was a report not too long ago that went face to face with Pete Hegseth. I guess you could say a former employee, a former coworker, because Pete Hegseth came from Fox News, and it was bad, just back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Peter Ducey, right, the young reporter from Fox News. He ain't playing any games. He's pressing them just as all journalists should. All right. The way he pressed Karine Jean Pierre, he's pressing Caroline Levitt. All right. It's the type of seemingly corrupt setup one imagines Hungary's illiberal leader Viktor Orban dreaming of back in 2022, when he advised Republicans that having their own media was essential for combating liberals and constructing a society like his, which Orban has called a illiberal democracy. It's possible that Truth Plus goes the way True Social and boast of only a meager base of users, but the effectiveness of the streaming platform is arguably less disturbing than the fundamental intent, which appears to be to build up the president's propaganda media empire. That's absolutely right. Continue pushing out the false narratives that he continues to say, and all the whateverism, in my opinion. I'm like, he's just like, what is he saying? What's he saying now? He continues to just blah 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 blah. That's all he does. That's all he does. Also, it shows here that he continues. Trump's continued ownership of a private media company he relies on to help spread propaganda should arguably be a scandal in of itself. As I mentioned before, ethics something, but once again, the non-backbone Dems that are right now in office, they ain't using any power because they don't know how to use it. They can't see on one accord. They busy whining about the who's running in for mayor in New York City. That's what they're whining about at this point. They're wasting their time when they should really be focusing on this. But hey, no. In addition to this, now that's one of the newest stories, but I'm looking at my time really quick. I want to share let's see here. I want to share another story involving y'all president, because I mean he's the president of the United States, but he's just if you're curious, I'm not a fan of this guy. But it was announced recently that for the next I think next year, for America's 250th birthday, there will be a UFC fight on the White House lawn. Donald Trump's UFC stunt, this report by The Guardian, is more than a circus. It's saying it's an authoritarian theater. And if you think about it, it's back and forth, right? Now, look, MMA is a popular sport. It's a popular, intense, physical sport where you watch guys literally destroy each other. Literally, one either knocks out, one either taps out, and it's all for entertainment. Now, this sport is founded by Dana White, who is good friends with Donald Trump, a Trump loyalist. You see Trump at every freaking UFC fight. And look, I've always said elected officials need to have a time to unwind. Yes, I get it. But every time, Because most of these UFC fights are not held in DC. Okay, they're either held in Florida, held in Las Vegas. Trump is always there, front and center. Crowd loves him because that's his base. That's his base. Says here 10 years ago, and this is a op-ed from Kareem Zidane. She says that, let's see here, and I won't read too much. I'm looking at my time, but she says here, before I became an investigative journalist, I found myself working as a color commentator for a Russian mixed martial arts organization bankrolled by deep in the Vladimir Putin's orbit. Now, the job took me around the Russian Federation and its neighboring states, allowing me to pursue unique stories. Now, as I continue to take little bits and pieces out of it, let's just talk about, logistical issues, including security concerns and layers of bureaucratic red tape rendered the event impossible at the time. But the let's see, which event is she talking about? She's talking about an event that happened. She's talking about a previous event that could possibly happen with this upcoming event in the United States. Now, she's talking about an event that happened in Moscow. The event would have been a chance for the organization and its so I'm not going to read this whole thing because, again, I don't really read op-eds too much, but the point of the matter is like, okay, is it overall a disservice to the American people to host a UFC event on the White House lawn? I would say no. Personally, I would say no. Why? Because they've held events there before. They've held concerts. They host a lot of events on the White House lawn. But I just think, once again, the cost of this. Is this going to cost taxpayers money, or is this going to be fully funded by the UFC? How is this going to? Because, again, the recent parade that was held, the military parade that was held, that was close to, like, reported $45 million in taxpayer money. Now, that's going to be, I guess, my big question. Is that going to come out of taxpayer money? It's just another way of embracing Trump and making him look good, because that's all that is. All those events, he loves the attention. He loves to be said, hey, you're not worthy of this and any, or we're not worthy. You know what I mean? It's just he wants to be praised 24/7. He loves the attention to him. It's not about praising the birthday of the America or the military. No, he likes the attention brought to him. All right. Look, y'all, continue to read between the lines. That's all I can say. Continue to read between the lines. Until next time, my friends, y'all take care. Stay blessed. Stay safe out there. Stay informed. Look, midterms is up this year. We got midterms this year, so please pay attention to who's running in your local state elections. And look, gotta keep your head up. Keep your head up. Peace and blessings, y'all. I'll see you next time. I'm out.
That's it for tonight on the Arrington Gavin Show. Thanks for tapping in and keeping the conversation alive. Don't forget, stay connected with us on all platforms. Follow at Arrington Gavin on Instagram, Blue Sky, and X, and subscribe to the official Substack for exclusive takes and deep dives you won't get anywhere else. We're here every weeknight, same time, same energy, same real talk. Until next time, stay bold, stay sharp, and stay true. That's what we do on the Arrington Gavin Show. Peace.